Hello and welcome to story time. Currently nobody here, which is strange because it is Wednesday, correct? It is Wednesday. So there should be some of my normal people here, but it's fine. I'm sure you'll join in when you get here. Anyway, I'm Dottie, of course, and we're continuing Prince Caspian in the Chronicles of Narnia series. And hey, there's Doc Michael. Was just saying that nobody was here. So, and Candace C, hello. All right. Yes, let's get the people in here. Way more fun with the people. Give me 1 second. Okay. So, how you guys doing tonight? I'm really high, so if I'm stupid, you're like retarded bear. That's why. Yeah, just really stoned. It's great. But we're continuing on with our book tonight. So, hey, there's Sue Finelli. I'm gonna go hair down. Maybe I shouldn't though. Looks like my hair is crazy. I think I should put it back up. This is gonna be a rough stream. I'm super high. So I hope you all enjoy it. Let's do that. Okay, I should have figured this out before I was on the stream, but just enjoy it. I don't even know. Yeah, I started making TikTok videos, and they are a very good way to express just being weird as fuck and having a blast with it. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So, good to see you all. Let's continue on with our story. We are on Chapter 5, Caspian's Adventure in the Mountains. After this, Caspian and his tutor had more secret conversations at the top of the great tower, and that was hilarious, that video. Oh my gosh, yes, the one that I did today. So funny. It's too funny. I can't even handle it. That one was really fun to make because you can just like take sounds from other videos and then just do like your own thing to it or whatever, and it's just this like stupid thing that I lip synced. But oh my gosh, every time I watch it, it just like it cracks me up so hard. So yeah, so funny. Let's see, I don't even know where I was. We'll just start over. I am so high. Like, this is really going to be a rough stream. After this, Caspian and his tutor had many more secret conversations on the top of the great tower, and at each conversation, Caspian learned more about old Narnia, so that thinking and dreaming about the old days and longing that they might come back filled nearly all his spare hours. But of course, he had not many hours to spare, for now his education was beginning in earnest. He learned sword fighting and riding, swimming and diving, how to shoot with a bow and play on the recorder and the theorbo, how to hunt the stag and cut him up when he was dead. Besides cosmography, rhetoric, heraldry, versification, and of course history, with a little law, physics, alchemy, and astronomy. Of magic he learned only the theory, for Dr. Cornelius said the practical part was not proper study for princes. And I myself, he added, am only a very imperfect magician and can do only the smallest experiments. of navigation, which is a noble and heroical art, said the doctor. He was taught nothing because King Miraz disapproved of ships and the sea. I'm like all tongue-tied. Wow, just said tongue-tied. Oh man, it's a good day. Good day, man. I am glad you're all here. Mr. Stone, Dottie reading. Yeah, I am really high right now. Good times. Yeah. Let's see. He also learned a great deal by using his own eyes and ears. As a little boy, he had often wondered why he disliked his aunt, Queen Pruna Prismia, and now he saw that it was because she disliked him. He also began to see that Narnia was an unhappy country. The taxes were high and the laws were stern, and Miraz was a cruel man. After some years, there came a time when the queen seemed to be ill, and there was a great deal of bustle and pother about her in the castle, and doctors came, and the courtiers whispered. This was in early summertime, and one night, while all the fuss was going on, Caspian was unexpectedly wakened by Dr. Cornelius after he had been only a few hours in bed. Are we going to do a little astronomy, doctor? Said Caspian. Hush, said the doctor. Hey, Eric Dulian, you made it. It is 10 already. Wow. It's only 8:11 over here. So, I mean, I don't even know what to say. After some years, there came a time when the queen seemed to be ill, and there was a great deal of bustle and, oh, no, we read that. Hush. Hush, said the doctor. Trust me and do exactly as I tell you. Put on all your clothes. You have a long journey before you. Sounds like the U.S. government. Yeah, for sure. It's exactly what I thought when I read that. I was like, sounds like what's going on right now. Zulu 1, what's up? Caspian was very surprised, but he had learned to have confidence in his tutor, and he began doing what he was told at once. When he was dressed, the doctor said, I have a wallet for you. We must go into the next room and fill it with victuals from your highness's supper table. My gentlemen in waiting will be there, said Caspian. They are fast asleep and will not wake, said the doctor. I am a very minor magician, but I can at least contrive a charmed sleep. Much love to you as well, Zulu 1. Now that there's people here, I can welcome all the guys and gals to the chat. I thank you all for being here to enjoy me reading while I'm stoned as fuck. They went into the antechamber, and there, sure enough, the two gentlemen in waiting were sprawling on chairs and snoring hard. Dr. Cornelius quickly cut up the remains of a cold chicken and some slices of venison and put them, with bread and an apple or so and a little flask of good wine, into the wallet, which he then gave to Caspian. It fitted on by a strap over Caspian's shoulder, like a satchel you would use for taking books to school. Have you your sword? Asked the doctor. Yes, said Caspian. Then put this mantle over all to hide the sword and the wallet. That's right, and now we must go to the great tower and talk. When they had reached the top of the tower, it was a cloudy night, not at all like the night when they had seen the conjunction of Tarva and Elambel. Dr. Cornelius said, Dear Prince, you must leave this castle at once and go to seek your fortune in the wide world. Your life is in danger here. Why? Asked Caspian. Stoned. Someone threw stones at you. No, definitely not. I did a bunch of science out in the yard, and it was very It was a very good experiment. Caspian chronic. Yes. That is funny. That would be a good variant. Yeah, for sure. Because you are the true king of Narnia, Caspian the 10th, the true son and heir of Caspian the 9th. Long life to your majesty. And suddenly, to Caspian's great surprise, the little man dropped down on one knee and kissed his hand. What does it all mean? I don't understand, said Caspian. I wonder you have never asked me before, said the doctor, why, being the son of King Caspian, you are not King Caspian yourself. Everyone except your majesty knows that Miraz is usurper. That's always a hard word to say, usurper. When he first began to rule, he did not even pretend to be the king. He called himself Lord Protector. But then your royal mother died, the good queen, and the only Telmarine who was ever kind to me. And then one by one, all the great lords who had known your father died or disappeared, not by accident either. Miraz weeded them out. Belazar and Uvalis were shot with arrows on a hunting party by chance. It was pretended. Sounds like all the people who get suicided by a double gunshot to the back of the head. Sounds pretty similar to that. Just, okay, yeah. Took a dark turn there. Rhyming and stealing. No stealing. I mean, you can steal memes if you, like, leave a react. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Just trying to fit in. Trying to be one with the crowd. Need to not go off script. I'm too high for it tonight. All the great house of the Passerids he sent to fight giants on the northern frontier till one by one they fell. Yep, that's exactly it, Eric. Double tap to the head. Just knocked out cold. Arlian and Aramon and a dozen more he executed for treason on a false charge. The two brothers of Beaver's Dam he shut up as madmen, and finally he persuaded the 7 noble lords, who alone among all the Telmarines did not fear the sea, to sail away and look for new lands beyond the eastern ocean. And as he intended, they never came back. And when there was no one left who could speak a word for you, then his flatterers, as he had instructed them, begged him to become king, and of course he did. Do you mean he now wants to kill me too? Said Caspian. That is almost certain, said Dr. Cornelius. But why now? Said Caspian. I mean, why didn't he do it long ago if he wanted to? And what harm have I done him? That's right. React before you steal memes. So tapped. He has changed his mind about you because of something that happened only 2 hours ago. The queen has had a son. I don't see what that's got to do with it, said Caspian. Don't see, exclaimed the doctor. Have all my lessons in history and politics taught you no more than that? Listen, as long as he had no children of his own, he was willing enough that you should be king after he died. He may not have cared much about you, but he would rather you should have the throne than a stranger. Now that he has a son of his own, he will want his own son to be the next king. You are in the way. He'll clear you out of the way. Is he really as bad as that? Said Caspian. Would he really murder me? He murdered your father, said Dr. Cornelius. Caspian felt very queer and said nothing. I can tell you the whole story, said the doctor, but not now. There is no time. You must fly at once. You'll come with me, said Caspian. I dare not, said the doctor. It would make your danger greater. 2 are more easily tracked than 1. Dear Prince, dear King Caspian, you must be very brave. You must go alone and at once. Try to get across the southern border to the court of King Nain of Archenland. He will be good to you. Shall I never see you again? Said Caspian in a quavering voice. I hope so, dear king, said the doctor. What friend have I in the wide world except your majesty? And I have a little magic, but in the meantime speed is everything. Here are 2 gifts before you go. There is a little purse of gold. Alas, all the treasure in this castle should be your own by rights, but here is something far better. He put in Caspian's hand something which he could hardly see, but which he knew by the feel to be a horn. That, said Dr. Cornelius, is the greatest and most sacred treasure of Narnia. Many terrors I endured, many spells did I utter to find it when I was still young. It is the magic horn of Queen Susan herself, which she left behind her when she vanished from Narnia at the end of the Golden Age. It is said that whoever blows it shall have strange help. No one can say how strange. It may have the power to call Queen Lucy and King Edmund and Queen Susan and High King Peter back from the past, and they will set all to rights. It may be that it will call up Aslan himself. Take it, King Caspian, but do not use it except at your greatest need. And now haste, haste, haste. The little door at the very bottom of the tower, the door into the garden, is unlocked. There we must part. Can I get my horse Destrier? Said Caspian. He is already saddled and waiting for you just at the corner of the orchard. During the long climb down the winding staircase, Cornelius whispered many more words of direction and advice. Caspian's heart was sinking, but he tried to take it all in. Then came the fresh air in the garden, a fervent hand clasp with the doctor, a run across the lawn, a welcoming whinny from Destrier, and so King Caspian X left the castle of his fathers. Looking back, he saw fireworks going up to celebrate the birth of the new prince. Even the doors said, people are strange. Yeah, they did. All night he rode southward, choosing byways and bridle paths through woods as long as he was in the country that he knew. But afterward he kept to the high road. Destrier was as excited as his master at this unusual journey. And Caspian, though tears had come into his eyes at saying goodbye to Dr. Cornelius, felt brave and in a way happy to think he was King Caspian riding to seek adventures with his sword on his left hip and Queen Susan's magic horn on his right. But when day came with a sprinkle of rain, and he looked about him and saw on every side unknown woods, wild heaths, and blue mountains, he thought how large and strange the world was, and felt frightened and small. Kirk Wilson, what's up? You are late. Yeah, you are indeed. So, I don't know. I guess you'll just have to go back to the beginning, and then you can like put it on double speed. But who knows? I mean, so many options here for you, but at least you're here now. It's always that. 22:22. Yeah, it's 8:22 here. Which, yeah, there you go. There it is. Now it's 8:23. Wow. I'm just, it's so exciting being here with me. As soon as it was full daylight, he left the road and found an open grassy place and a wood where he could rest. He took off Destrier's bridle and let him graze, ate some cold chicken and drank a little wine, and presently fell asleep. It was late afternoon when he awoke. He ate a morsel and continued his journey, still southward, by many unfrequented lanes. He was now on the land of hills, going down, but always more up than down. From every ridge, he could see the mountains growing bigger and blacker ahead. As the evening closed in, he was riding their lower slopes. The wind rose. Soon rain fell in torrents. Destrier became uneasy. There was thunder in the air, and now they entered a dark and seemingly endless pine forest, and all the stories Caspian had ever heard of trees being unfriendly to man crowded into his mind. He remembered that he was, after all, a Telmarine, one of the race who cut down trees wherever they could and were at war with all wild things. And though he himself might be unlike other Telmarines, the trees could not be expected to know this. I mean, the trees might, if you tell them your intent. They might listen and understand. You know, have good energy. The trees will feel your energy. I don't know. Why did I get stoned today? Was it a tough day? Honestly, it was not. It was actually not a bad day. Like, I actually had enough stuff to do at work that I didn't go insane. I made a really funny TikTok and then went for a really nice walk. And then I just had a bunch of weed, and I was like, well, I'm about to do a live stream, so it seems like a great idea to just get really high. And I should not get this high when I do a live stream because I'm just really fucking high. Yeah, TikTok. I started making TikTok videos. They're really stupid and a lot of fun. But yeah, it's a really, really good time. So yeah, I've made I think I've five videos, 4 or 5. I don't even remember now. I'm already so many deep. But yeah, 5 videos. The one that I made yesterday and today are so freaking funny. I keep watching them and I'm like, wow, I'm hilarious. So hilarious that I'm joking and dying. It's so funny. My TikTok name is From Fat to Fit 13. Let me write that. La la la. There we go. Because I started making, wanted to make TikTok videos for my workout video things, or just workout motivation. But I knew that wasn't going to be the only thing that I made videos about. So I just I don't know. I did a funny dance video, and then just a couple random ones. And then yesterday was one about my workout. It's really funny, super funny. It was legit. And then today they have trending things going on. So as you're scrolling through the feed, if there's a sound or something that you like, you can save that sound and you can make a video of it. So I did this just freaking absurd thing that I just you have to lip sync whatever the thing is saying, and it's so funny. I don't know. I don't know if you'll be able to see it if I let me see. I don't know if you'll be able to see it because sometimes the camera won't. Let's see. Oh, it helps if you have sound. Sound helps. Okay, let me get that. Oh no, that's the one from yesterday, which is super funny. But oh my god, I can't get it in there.
Yeah, Emily, I just want to let you know that I heard that you've been talking some smack, and I just want you to know that I've been taking Taekwondo lessons in the back of the Walmart Supercenter, so you don't want to get hurt, and you gotta stop. Yeah, Emily.
Oh my God. It's so funny. It's literally the stupidest thing. It's so funny. Oh my God, I can't. I have to show you the other one. Like, we're just gonna go off on a fun tangent here while I'm high. Show you all my TikTok. This one is the one I did yesterday.
Do you guys ever have a workout so good that you think you can hear colors and see sounds? Maybe it's all that acid that I did.
Oh yeah, the Walmart karate, taekwondo in the back of the Walmart Supercenter. Oh my God, it's so funny. I mean, it's like, I don't even know. Like, other people don't have to get it, but like, I think it's so funny, and it's really fun to just embrace being a weird girl. But taekwondo. Oh my God, that's like my favorite part, and I had to record it multiple times because like you're lip syncing it, and so you don't want it to look like, you know, a Godzilla movie from the 50s. But yeah, I had to do that one quite a few times actually before I could get it, because you have to listen to it enough that you remember what they're saying, and then to do it a few times to get the right tempo. And yeah, completely just pointless, but it gives me such a good laugh that makes it feel worth it, not pointless, you know, because there's just so much shit going on right now. Everything is so fucked up, especially if you're in the truth community and you can see through these lies. Like, it's real fucking tough right now. It just sucks. So like, if you can do something to get a good belly laugh, you should definitely do that. Like, every day you should get a good solid belly laugh. So yeah, like a kung fu movie from the 70s. Yeah, definitely. My taekwondo. Oh my God, it's so much fun. Loving it. So yeah, you can follow me on TikTok, and I'm going to make more whack shit like that, so we can all enjoy it together. Where were we? We're in the forest. Bible says laughter is like medicine. Yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, stress literally causes cancer and diseases in your body. And so laughing, it's a frequency that there's no doubt that it heals you. It's, yeah, good shit. Good shit. The trees could not be expected to know this, nor did they. The wind became a tempest. The woods roared and creaked all around them. There came a crash. A tree fell right across the road just behind him. Quiet, Destrier, quiet, said Caspian, patting the horse's neck, but he was trembling himself and knew that he had escaped death by an inch. Lightning flashed and a great crack of thunder seemed to break the sky in two just overhead. Destrier bolted in good earnest. Caspian was a good rider, but he had not the strength to hold him back. He kept his seat, but he knew that his life hung by a thread during the wild career that followed. Tree after tree rose up before them in the dusk and was only just avoided. Then, almost too suddenly to hurt, and yet it did hurt him too. Something struck Caspian on the forehead, and he knew no more. Spicy Sarah, hello. If laughter was a drug, I would sell it by the gram. Yeah, for sure. You know, put my grandma on speed dial. Call that the Instagram. Oh, man. That joke just resurfaced from who knows what puddle in my brain. Speaking of selling stuff, though, the blackberries are going crazy by my house right now, and I am thinking that I'm gonna make some blackberry jam because I never have. And so I'm gonna make a bunch of jam, and then I'm gonna sit out by the gate at my community, where you enter the community, and see if people want to buy my jam for like $5 because it's going to be really good blackberry jam. Pretty excited about that. And I'm not going to lie, I'm probably going to eat a jar of it with a spoon. So, you know, oh, you a blackberry pie. Man, I made this cobbler a few weeks ago that it was definitely the best cobbler I've ever made so far. Lots of the fuck am I saying? Lots of crust in it. Yeah, I just made like a fuck ton of this brown sugar, cinnamon, crumbly crust, and oh man, I put it all through the cobbler. It was legit AF. So good. A blackberry pie. Save you a jar? I will. I will definitely do that. Because Sarah brings the salsa. So Sarah deserves jam. For sure. Yeah, the blackberries are like, oh my gosh, I ate so many of them. Because there's 2 spots that are going like really good right now. Even the small ones are just super sweet and so delicious. But some of them are like really big and oh, so good. It's so many. Barbara's seen a bear. Hey, hey, what's happening? Yay, all my people are here. All my people. When he came to himself, he was lying in a firelit place with bruised limbs and a bad headache. Low voices were speaking close at hand. And now, said one, before it wakes up, we must decide what to do with it. Kill it, said another. We can't let it live. It would betray us. We ought to have killed it at once, or else let it alone, said a third voice. We can't kill it now, not after we've taken care of it and bandaged its head and all. It would be murdering a guest. Gentlemen, said Caspian in a feeble voice, whatever you do to me, I hope you will be kind to my poor horse. Your horse had taken flight long before we found you, said the first voice, a curiously husky, earthy voice, as Caspian now noticed. Now don't let it talk you round with its pretty words, said the second voice. I still say, horns and halibuts, exclaimed the third voice. Of course we're not going to murder it. For shame, Nickabrick. What do you say, Truffle Hunter? What shall we do with it? I shall give it a drink, said the first voice, presumably a Truffle Hunter's. A dark shape approached the bed. Caspian felt an arm slipped gently under his shoulders. If it was exactly an arm, the shape somehow seemed wrong. The face that bent toward him seemed wrong, too. He got the impression that it was very hairy and very long-nosed, and there were odd white patches on each side of it. It's a mask of some sort, thought Caspian, or perhaps I'm in a fever and imagining it all. Oh, I got a picture for y'all. I know how you love pictures. Looks like a badger. A cupful of something sweet and hot was set to his lips, and he drank. At that moment, one of the others poked the fire. A blaze sprang up, and Caspian almost screamed with the shock as the sudden light revealed the face that was looking into his own. It was not a man's face. That looks like a rat. Can't make nothing out. Yeah, I know. The thing doesn't focus on it well. Let's see. Maybe it'll focus better from far away. It's a badger. It's definitely a badger. Not a trash panda, but a badger. Yes, ImperioSalsa.com. All about it. It was not a man's face, but a badger's, though larger and friendlier and more intelligent than the face of any badger he had seen before. And it had certainly been talking. He saw, too, that he was on a bed of heather in a cave. By the fire sat two little bearded men, so much wilder and shorter and hairier and thicker than Dr. Cornelius that he knew them at once for real dwarfs, ancient dwarfs, not with a drop of human blood in their veins. And Caspian knew that he had found the old Narnians at last. Then his head began to swim again. In the next few days, he learned to know them by names. The badger was called Truffle Hunter. He was the oldest and kindest of the three. The dwarf who had wanted to kill Caspian was a sour black dwarf. That is, his hair and beard were black and thick and hard like horsehair. His name was Knickerbrick. The other dwarf was a red dwarf with hair rather like a fox's, and he was called Trumpkin. Trumpkin. That's funny. And now, said Knickerbrick, on the first evening when Caspian was well enough to sit up and talk, we have to decide what to do with this human. You two think you've done it a great kindness by not letting me kill it, but I suppose the upshot is that we have to keep it a prisoner for life. I'm certainly not going to let it go alive, to go back to its own kind and betray us all. Sounds like pumpkin. Yeah. Trumpkin. The Trumpkin. Everybody's gonna carve their Trumpkins this year. It'd be funny as fuck. Carve Trump into a pumpkin. Trumpkin. Yeah, definitely do the Trumpkin. That's too funny. Bulbs and bolsters, Knickerbrick, said Trumpkin. Why need you talk so unhandsomely? It isn't the creature's fault that it bashed its head against a tree outside our hole, and I don't think it looks like a traitor. I say, said Caspian, you haven't yet found out whether I want to go back. I don't. I want to stay with you if you'll let me. I've been looking for people like you all my life. Trumpkin equals Hillary. The plot thickens. That's a likely story, growled Knickerbrick. You're a Telmarine and a human, aren't you? Of course you want to go back to your own kind. I'm human and I don't want to be with my kind. Can I be with the goats and the free-range chickens? Those are my people. That's definitely it. Yeah. I mean, luckily I know so many people in our Flat Earth and Bears tribes, because man, if I didn't know all you people, it would be a much bleaker existence. Eric, try it with www at the beginning. www.imperiosalsa.com will often come up better that way. FYI, where was I? Well, even if I did, I couldn't, said Caspian. I was flying for my life when I had my accident. The king wants to kill me. If you'd killed me, you'd have done the very thing You'd have done the very thing to please him. Well, now, said Truffle Hunter, you don't say so. Bears interviewing bears. Well, I guess y'all speak the same language. What day is that on, Sarah? I knew that was going on, but I've never tuned into it, and I would like to. It sounds like it would be awesome. Said Trumpkin, what's that? What have you been doing, human, to fall foul of Miraz at your age? He's my uncle, began Caspian, when Knickerbrick jumped up with his hand on his dagger. There you are, he cried, not only a Telmarine, but close kin and heir to our greatest enemy. Are you still mad enough to let this creature live? He would have stabbed Caspian then and there if the Badger and Trumpkin had not got in the way and forced him back to his seat and held him down. Now, once and for all, Knickerbrick, said Trumpkin, will you contain yourself, or must Truffle Hunter and I sit on your head? Knickerbrick sulkily promised to behave, and the other two asked Caspian to tell his whole story. When he had done so, there was a moment's silence. This is the queerest thing I ever heard, said Trumpkin. I don't like it, said Knickerbrick. I didn't know there were stories about us still told among the humans. The less they know about us, the better. That old nurse now, she'd better have held her tongue, and it's all mixed up with that tutor, a renegade dwarf. I hate him. I hate him worse than the humans. You mark my words, no good will come of it. No good. Don't mess with the mixed breeding of dwarfs, apparently. Don't you go talking about things you don't understand, Knickerbrick, said Truffle Hunter. You dwarfs are as forgetful and changeable as the human themselves. I'm a beast. I am, and a badger, what's more. We don't change. We hold on. I say a great good will come of it. This is the true king of Narnia we've got here. A true king coming back to true Narnia. And we beasts remember, even if dwarfs forget, that Narnia was never right except when a son of Adam was king. Whistles and whirligigs, said Truffle Hunter. Truffle Hunter, said Trumpkin. You don't mean you want to give the country to humans? Whirligigs. Whew. Wow. They don't have the salsa in Louisiana. I see they have it in Texas, though. Just order off the website. She'll send it to you. I said nothing about that. They're hunting for truffles to eat. Yeah, I was thinking that it's funny for makes sense, I guess, for a badger to be named Truffle Hunter because a truffle is a type of mushroom. So that would make sense that a badger would be hunting truffles. So, yeah. Makes perfect sense. Like, why wouldn't a talking beast have like a literal name like that? Yeah, good shit. I said nothing about that, answered the badger. It's not men's country. Who should know that better than me? But it's a country for a man to be king of. We badgers have long enough memories to know that. Why, bless us all, wasn't the High King Peter a man? Do you believe all those old stories? Asked Trumpkin. I tell you, we don't change, we beasts, said Truffle Hunter. We don't forget. I believe in the High King Peter and the rest that reigned at Cair Paravel as firmly as I believe in Aslan himself. As firmly as that, I dare say, said Trumpkin, but who believes in Aslan nowadays? I do, said Caspian, and if I hadn't believed in him before, I would now. Back there among the humans, the people who laughed at Aslan would have laughed at stories about talking beasts and dwarfs. Sometimes I did wonder if there really was such a person as Aslan, but then sometimes I wondered if there were really people like you. Yet there you are. That's right, said Truffle Hunter. You're right, King Caspian. And as long as you will be true to old Narnia, you shall be my king. Whatever they say, long live to your majesty. Badgers. We don't need no stinking badgers. Yes. Yes, Kirk. Yes. Oh my gosh. That's fucking awesome. You make me sick, Badger, growled Knickerbrick. The High King Peter and the rest may have been men, but they were a different sort of men. This one is of the cursed Telmarines. He has hunted beasts for sport, haven't you now? He added, rounding suddenly on Caspian. Well, to tell you the truth, I have, said Caspian, but they weren't talking beasts. It's all the same thing, said Knickerbrick. No, 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 said Truffle Hunter. You know it isn't. You know very well that the beasts in Narnia nowadays are different and are no more than the poor, dumb, witless creatures you'd find in Kellerman or Telmar. They're smaller, too. They're far more different than us, the half-dwarf. They're far more different from us than the half-dwarfs are from you. There was a great deal more talk, but it all ended with the agreement that Caspian should stay, and even the promise that as soon as he was able to go out, he should be taken to see what Trumpkin called the others. For apparently in these wild parts, all sorts of creatures from the old days of Narnia still lived on in hiding. Chapter 6. The people that lived in hiding. Ooh. I think they might be using the word truffle as its meaning in British slang, not its literal meaning. So, is it the truffle that's like the bonbons, like the candy? Or if it's not a mushroom, like there's another kind of truffle? Because I just learned about the mushroom. So now I have to learn about another kind of truffle. Oh, goodness. So much to learn. So much little time. So little time. Wow. Anyway, the people that lived in hiding. The plot is getting real thick. The gravy is flowing. Now began the happiest times that Caspian had ever known. On a fine summer morning, when the dew lay on the grass, he set off with the badger and the two dwarfs, up through the forest to a high saddle in the mountains, and down onto their sunny southern slopes, where one looked across the green wolds of Archenland. We will go first to the three bulgy bears, said Trumpkin. I mean, why wouldn't you go see the bears first? Us bears are good people. They came in a glade to an old hollow oak tree covered with moss, and Truffle Hunter tapped with his paw 3 times on the trunk, and there was no answer. Then he tapped again, and a woolly sort of voice from inside said, "Go away, it's not time to get up yet." But when he tapped the 3rd time, there was a noise like a small earthquake from inside, and a sort of door opened out. Came 3 brown bears, very bulgy indeed, and blinking their little eyes. And when everything had been explained to them, which took a long time because they were so sleepy, they said, just as Truffle Hunter had said, that a son of Adam ought to be king of Narnia, and all kissed Caspian, very wet, snuffly kisses they were, and offered him some honey. Caspian did not really want honey without bread, but at that time in the morning he thought it polite to accept. It took him a long time afterward to get unsticky. Just like straight up honeycomb, just getting after it. Wow. Sounds so good. I want some honeycomb right now. Oh my gosh. Yum. After that they went on till they came among beech trees, and Truffle Hunter called out, "Patter twig, patter twig, patter twig." And almost at once, bounding down from branch to branch till he was just above their heads, came the most magnificent red squirrel that Caspian had ever seen. He was far bigger than the ordinary dumb squirrels, which he had seen sometimes in the castle gardens. Indeed, he was nearly the size of a terrier, and the moment you looked in his face, you saw that he could talk. By the way, here's a picture of the bears. Look, they're having a meetup. Bears meetups are the shit. Ever heard the old saying, a blind pig finds a truffle every now and then? A truffle is a person that is kind of dumb, kind of like a loser, and is bothersome to people, the way I remember it. Oh, well, that's quite the little tidbit there. I know quite a few people that are truffles, and yeah, I mean, be lying if I said I didn't want to hunt them down with like a paintball, and just whenever they are going full retard, you just like bah, 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 blast them with a paintball gun and be like, "Stop being such a truffle." I think we should stop calling people Karens. Because, I mean, the only Karen that I know is Karen B, and she's like the most badass lady ever. So we need to stop calling people truffles. We need to start calling them truffles. Stop calling people Karen. Start calling them truffles. Whew, words are hard when you're high, man. Yeah, let's definitely do that. Look at these fucking truffles. Just, it's like even better than trolls. Trolls is, it's played out. I mean, trolls are not going back under their bridge. Just not. So, truffles. Yeah, I'm all about it. Definitely. Good times. Indeed, the difficulty was to get him to stop talking, for, like all squirrels, he was a chatterer. He welcomed Caspian at once and asked if he would like a nut, and Caspian said thanks, he would, but as Pattertwig went bounding away to fetch it, Truffle Hunter whispered in Caspian's ear, "Don't look the other way. It's very bad manners among squirrels to watch anyone going to his store or to look as if you wanted to know where it was." Then Pattertwig came back with the nut, and Caspian ate it, and after that Pattertwig asked if he could take any messages to other friends. "For I can go nearly everywhere without setting foot to ground," he said. Truffle Hunter and the dwarfs thought this was a very good idea, and gave Pattertwig messages to all sorts of people with queer names, telling them all to come to a feast and council on Dancing Lawn at midnight 3 nights ahead. "And you'd better tell the 3 Bulgies too," said Trumpkin. "We forgot to mention it to them." The trouble with truffles. Yes, we can say they're daft. That one sounds too British to me. "Oh, darling, they're daft. Terribly daft." No, it's not. It's not. I have a mate I talk to in London. I hear these phrases. Oh yeah, that would make sense. That would definitely make sense. I like truffles a lot. I'm all about it. Like, I have coined calling people, like, people always say that you're a douche canoe. I've started saying that you're a twat canoe. So just like paddle away your little twat canoe. Just, so it's like, I don't really like twat waffle. Douche canoe is okay. What about a twat canoe? Yeah, it's where it's at. So spread that around. Hashtag twat canoe. Yeah. Hashtag twat canoe. There it is. Got it. Hashtag daftery. No. Definitely not. My mother called her a little truffle. Maybe she hated me. Well, maybe she was talking about the bonbon, the candy, because those are quite good. Quite sweet. And good in small doses, if you're a child, yeah, honey, I love you, but you can also go away sometimes too. And I will still love you when you're over there, but just, go over there. Oh, good times. Let's see, where did we go? Their next visit was to the 7 brothers of Shuddering Wood. I bet that's on my map here. I bet you it is. Shuddering Wood. Let's see. Oh, it is, and it's really big too. Oh, can you see it? Oh, look at that. They're going to Shuddering Wood. Right there. Right there. Isn't that amazing? Just like right there on the map. Oh, I didn't even have to move. I could have just gone, bam, right there. There it is. FEPE the Penguin. You are first. I'm so proud of you. You found it even without the link. Good for you. In French, you call someone you love my little cabbage when translated to English. That's funny because most people hate cabbage. So that's quite the nickname right there. Quite the nickname. Where did we get to? Oh yeah, we're in Shuddering Wood here. Right there. It's literally right there. Do you see it? Too high, man. Too high. Trumpkin led the way back to the saddle and then down eastward on the northern slope of the mountains till they came to a very solemn place among rocks and fir trees. They went very quietly, and presently Caspian could feel the ground shake under his feet as if someone were hammering down below. Trumpkin went on Trumpkin went to a flat stone about the size of the top of a water butt and stamped on it with his foot. After a long pause, it was moved away by someone or something underneath. To the Narnia weather forecast. Oh no, that's funny. It's always really hard to, like, I don't know how long it would take you to get used to like a green screen of, you know, stuff not being there, whatever, but I always have trouble with that. Like, which shoulder is it over? But yeah, it's right there. And right there, you can donate to my channel. Or you can send me a letter. I like letters. I don't ever get letters. So that would be nice too. I don't know. Whatever. Do whatever you want. I don't care. Be sure to like the video though. Oh, no. There's a reason I don't ever do that. I don't care. I'm just happy you're all here. That's what matters to me. I shouldn't stop and like get lost in a thought in the middle of a paragraph, because then it's almost impossible to find where it was. There was a long talk here, and the dwarf seemed more suspicious than the squirrel or the bulgy bears had been, but in the end the whole party were invited to come down. Caspian found himself descending a dark stairway into the earth, but when he came to the bottom, he saw firelight. It was the light of a furnace. The whole place was a smithy. A subterranean stream ran past on one side of it. Two dwarfs were at the bellows. Another was holding a piece of red-hot metal on the anvil with a pair of tongs. A fourth was hammering it, and two, wiping their horny little hands on a greasy cloth, were coming forward to meet the visitors. It's nice to know that our lives matter. I mean, don't you know that, like, if you're white, you don't matter. Nobody cares about the white people at all. You have to care about everyone else. Care about grandma, care about the children, care about all races. But fuck those white people. Fuck them. You got the sun. Yes. Yes, indeed I did carry skates. I've been working outside since February. So I've been getting a lot of sun, but like really white in places, you know, definitely white underneath the this brown. But yeah, it's been a very nice sunny summer, and I've gotten a lot of sun, and it's been delightful. I really like it. Really like it a lot. Feels so much better when I'm just like up and working in the day, even though my job it like, currently sucks and is stupid, but it's just so nice to be up in the day. And yeah, I went for a really nice walk today around my community. The right chat, Kirk Wilson. This is the right chat. The right chat for shenanigans and I mean, I might read a book, but tonight I've been getting distracted very easily. So that's been fun. Dang, Kay! Haven't seen you for a while. Always nice to see the people. It took some time to satisfy them that Caspian was a friend and not an enemy, but when they did, they all cried, "Long live the king!" And their gifts were noble, mail shirts and helmets and swords for Caspian and Trumpkin and Knickerbrick. The badger could have the same if he had liked, but he said he was a beast. He was, and if his claws and teeth could not keep his skin whole, it wasn't worth keeping. I love shenanigans. Who doesn't? I mean, though I've met quite a few people online who they don't like shenanigans. They don't understand like anything. They're wet blankets sailing along in a twat canoe, just doing fucking nothing. So, more shenanigans, please. More shenanigans and more cowbell. That's what we need. It's what's going to get us back to normal. See the one prowls in the background of chat. Yeah, he drifts in and out of sleep. So, you know, it's pretty much to be expected. He's here in his heart. but isn't that the restaurant from Super Troopers? Yeah, pretty sure. Pretty sure. Then we could go to Tchotchkes. Get your 15 pieces of flair. Yeah, could do that. It's the other one. Always lurking, always stalking. What are true friends for? The workmanship of the arms was far finer than any Caspian had ever seen, and he gladly accepted the dwarf-made sword instead of his own, which looked in comparison as feeble as a toy and clumsy as a stick. The 7 brothers, who were all red dwarfs, promised to come to the feast at Dancing Lawn. A little farther on, in a dry, rocky ravine, they reached the cave of 5 black dwarfs. They looked suspiciously at Caspian, but in the end, the eldest of them said, "If he is against Miraz, we'll have him for king." And the next oldest said, "Shall we go farther up for you, up to the crags? There's an ogre or two and a hag that we could introduce you to up there." "Certainly not," said Caspian. Certainly not," said Caspian. Coasting in that twat canoe, non-shenanigans. Yeah, exactly. It's exactly it. They don't even know how they got in the canoe. They're just sitting in the twat canoe, not having shenanigans, and just eating fish skins. So it's terrible. Start my own Zumba on TikTok. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm planning. I did one. My first video was like a couple days ago, and it was me like comparing how awkward it is when you first do a Zumba workout to when you've done that same workout like 10 times or whatever, and you know all the moves. So that one was pretty funny. And then yesterday I did the one that was after my workout, and I'd worked out really hard. I crushed it 2 Zumbas in a row. And so yeah, I did that funny video. So that wasn't me dancing. That was just me just making a joke about just being on acid, whatever. Yeah, I played that one for you guys. Twat canoe, I'm saving up for a twat yacht. Now that is funny. The twat yacht. Real life goals, though, it'd be a terrible goal because who wants to be that person? Terrible person to be. It is. I don't know how to link it, so this is the name. Did it go in there? Do you see it? Oh, I don't know. Let's see. Michelle L. Hello. She made it. She made it. I was worried when I jumped into the broadcast and oh wow, Michelle is not here. Not here at all. Yeah, Ray is not waiting for me. And normally here 45 minutes before, though I didn't make the link until half an hour before I was going to stream because I forgot for a minute that it was Wednesday. I don't know how TikTok works. Yeah, you know what, Sue? I don't think anybody really does. You make a profile and then it'll ask you shit that you like, and then you just open up the page, and then there'll be a video there, and it'll be a short one. It's little clips, videos, whatever, and then you just start scrolling, watching videos, and then you like the ones that you like, and then you can subscribe to people's channel or follow them, and then you'll see more videos from them. You could just search out anything that you want to watch. I was watching a bunch of gardening TikToks today, drooling over this one guy's garden, super jealous of how fruitful it is and just lovely. I wanted to sit in his garden and just enjoy. But yeah, then like you don't have to make videos on there. You can just watch stuff. A lot of people do like reaction videos. So you can like put someone else's video with your video, and then they'll do something and you react to it, make the joke funnier, whatever. I don't know. People dig the reactions for whatever reason. And then I've been just like scrolling through and taking like the sound clips and just playing with the different filters that are in there, just trying to have fun with it, and it's made me laugh a whole lot. So yeah, it's definitely a good time. TikTok is daft. It's daft, just terribly daft. never gonna get me on board with daft. TikTok is for non-truffle. Wait, it's for truffle. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm not even gonna. I can't. I should think not, indeed, said Truffle Hunter. We want none of that sort on our side. Knickerbrick disagreed with this, but Trumpkin and the Badger overruled him. It gave Caspian a shock to realize that the horrible creatures out of the old stories, as well as the nice ones, had some descendants in Narnia still. Daft as a brush. Yes. Yes, indeed. Just like that. Exactly that daft. Exactly that daft. Oh, man. I need to stop getting distracted. We should not have Aslan for friend if we brought in that rabble, said Truffle Hunter as they came away from the cave of the Black Dwarfs. Oh, Aslan, said Trumpkin cheerily but contemptuously. What matters much more is that you wouldn't have me. Do you believe in Aslan? Said Caspian to Knickerbrick. Trumpkin and Rudy Badger? Yes, Barbara, yes. Yes. Trumpkin. Rudy, get in here. Rudy. Rudy. My God, so funny. That's awesome. Why can't I be 18 years old again? Because that would be terrible. I can't imagine being 18 right now. Kidding me? No. I'd still have to go through like my marriage, my divorce. Oh, please no. Please no. Rather be, fucked up at 35 and just not knowing what the hell I'm doing. That's so much better. I'll believe in anyone or anything, said Knickerbrick. That'll batter these cursed Tellermine barbarians to pieces or drive them out of Narnia. Anyone or anything, Aslan or the White Witch. Do you understand? Silence, silence, said Truffle Hunter. You do not know what you are saying. She was a worse enemy than Miraz and all his race. Not two dwarfs she wasn't, said Knickerbrick. Their next visit was a pleasanter one. As they came lower down, the mountains opened out into a great glen or wooded gorge with a swift river running at the bottom. The open places near the river's edge were a mass of foxgloves and wild roses, and the air was buzzing with bees. Here, Truffle Hunter called again, Glenstorm, Glenstorm! And after a pause, Caspian heard the sound of hoofs. It grew louder till the valley trembled, and at last, breaking and trampling the thickets, there came in sight the noblest creatures that Caspian had yet seen. The great centaur Glenstorm and his 3 sons. His flanks were glossy chestnut, and the beard that covered his broad chest was gold and red. He was a prophet and a stargazer, and knew what they had come about. Long live the king, he cried. I and my sons are ready for war. When is the battle to be joined? Up till now, neither Caspian nor the others had really been thinking of a war. They had some vague idea, perhaps, of an occasional raid on some human farmstead, or of attacking a party of hunters, if it ventured too far into these southern wilds. But in the main, they had thought only of living to themselves in woods and caves and building up an attempt at old Narnia in hiding. As soon as Glenstorm had spoken, everyone felt much more serious. Do you mean a real war to drive Miraz out of Narnia? Asked Caspian. What else? Said the centaur. Why else does your majesty go clad in mail and girt with sword? Is it possible, Glenstorm? Said the badger. The time is ripe, said Glenstorm. I watch the skies, badger, for it is mine to watch, as it is yours to remember. Tarva and Alambil have met in the halls of high heaven, and on earth a son of Adam has once more arisen to rule and name the creatures. The hour has struck. Our council at the dancing lawn must be a council for war. He spoke in such a voice that neither Caspian nor the others hesitated for a moment. It now seemed to them quite possible that they might win a war, and quite certain that they must wage one. As it was now past the middle of the day, they rested with the centaurs and ate such food as the centaurs provided, cakes of oaten meal and apples and herbs and wine and cheese. The next place they were to visit was quite near at hand, but they had to go a long way round in order to avoid a region in which men lived. It was well into the afternoon before they found themselves in level fields, warm between hedgerows. There a truffle hunter called at the mouth of a little hole in a green bank, and out popped the last thing Caspian expected, a talking mouse. He was, of course, bigger than a common mouse, well over a foot high, and he stood on his hind legs and with his ears nearly as long as, though broader than, a rabbit's. His name was Reepicheep, and he was a gay and martial mouse. He wore a tiny little rapier at his side and twirled his long whiskers as if they were a mustache. Oh, it's Reepicheep. Oh my gosh, I forgot all about him. Oh, great character that just came in. So exciting. Reepicheep the mouse. Oh my gosh. There are 12 of us, sire, he said with a dashing and graceful bow, and I place all the resources of my people unreservedly at your majesty's disposal. Caspian tried hard and unsuccessfully not to laugh, but he couldn't help thinking that Reepicheep and all his people would very easily be put in a washing basket and carried home on one's back. Yeah, it's spelled Reepicheep. Reepicheep. Yeah. What a name. Indeed. Indeed. Reepicheep is awesome. It would take too long to mention all the creatures whom Caspian met that day. Clodsley, Shovel the Mole, the 3 hardbiters who were badgers like Truffle Hunter, Camillo the Hare, and Hogglestock the Hedgehog. That's a name for you. Hogglestock? Whew, it's a good one. They rested at last beside a well at the edge of a wide and level circle of grass, bordered with tall elms, which now threw long shadows across it, where the sun was setting, the daisies closing and the rocks flying home to bed. Here they supped on food they had brought with them, and Trumpkin lit his pipe. Nickabrick was not a smoker. What kind of dwarf isn't a smoker? I don't want to smoke the peace pipe. Now, said the badger, if only we could wake the spirits of these trees and this well, we should have done a good day's work. Can't we? Said Caspian. No, said Truffle Hunter. We have no power over them. Since the humans came into the land, felling forests and defiling streams, the dryads and naiads have sunk into a deep sleep. Who knows if they will ever stir again? And what is And that is a great loss to our side. The Telmarines are horribly afraid of the woods, and once the trees moved in anger, our enemies would go mad with fright and be chased out of Narnia as quick as their legs would carry them. Oh, and here's Reepicheep. Look at him. Little mouse with a sword. Oh, he's so fun. What imaginations you animals have, said Trumpkin, who didn't believe in such things. But why stop at trees and waters? Wouldn't it be even nicer if the stones started throwing themselves at old Miraz? Where everybody went? I don't know. Into a deep sleep? I don't know. The badger only grunted at this. And after that there was such a silence that Caspian had nearly dropped off to sleep when he thought he heard a faint musical sound from the depth of the woods at his back. You mean a rat with a sword? Yeah. Though they called him a mouse. They called him a talking mouse. They did. It's just a big mouse, like a foot tall. Sounds like a New York, like, gutter rat, though. Sewer rat. Big fucker. Yeah. Then he thought it was only a dream and turned over again. But as soon as his ear touched the ground, he felt or heard, it was hard to tell which, a faint beating or drumming. He raised his head. The beating noise at once became fainter, but the music returned, clearer this time. It was like flutes. He saw that Truffle Hunter was sitting up staring into the wood. The moon was bright. Caspian had been asleep longer than he thought. Nearer and nearer came the music, a tune wild and yet dreamy, and the noise of many light feet, till at last out of the wood into the moonlight came dancing shapes, such as Caspian had been thinking of all his life. They were not much taller than dwarfs, but far slighter and more graceful. Their curly heads had little horns. The upper part of their bodies gleamed naked in the pale light, but their legs and feet were those of goats. Ooh, the goat people. I'm here. I love Reepicheep. Yeah, that's right. Barbara gets it. She gets it. Just build like an underground, hurricane shelter. Something that, like, the water can't, like, flood in. Yeah, build your, like, storm shelter. Get it. That'd be awesome. You'd live in it. Fawns, cried Caspian, jumping up, and in a moment they were all round him. It took next to no time to explain the whole situation to them, and they accepted Caspian at once. Before he knew what he was doing, he found himself joining in the dance. Trumpkin, with heavier and jerkier movements, did likewise, and even Truffle Hunter hopped and lumbered about as best he could. Only Knickerbrick stayed where he was, looking on in silence. The fawns footed in all round Caspian to their reedy pipes. Their strange faces, which seemed mournful and merry all at once, looked into his. Dozens of fawns, Obentius and Obentinus, and Dumbness, and Volans, and Voltinus, Gerbius, Nemenius, Nasus, and Oscans. Are these Klingon names? Man. Neminus? Oh, man. That is a tough one. What are they doing? Paterwig had sent them all. Whew. When Caspian awoke next morning, he could hardly believe that it had all been a dream, but the grass was covered with little cloven hoof marks. Here they are doing their dance. Oh, look at them go. Look at them go. Fawns. They're awesome. I like fawns. Yeah, exactly. Why would you live in Tornado Alley? Oh, that was the end of chapter 6. So that was the end. We made it already. So, anyone have anything to share before I get out of here? This is your moment to share with class. Anything good? I mean, Eric, you're unfortunately dealing with that hurricane, and So hopefully that all clears up for you, because yeah, that's one thing that I don't live in the South for that. It's Washington. We don't really get any like extreme weather in any way, so it's all pretty mild. But like 2 weeks in the summer when it's too hot, and then maybe one day of snow, and it's really not bad. But everything else about Washington is currently terrible. It sucks. Stupid. Just full of just so many zombies. I just can't. I don't know. Anyway, let's not dwell on the zombies. The truffles. No truffles in this stream. But tomorrow, super exciting. I am going to have a whole meal out of my garden, except the onion. That's the only thing that is store-bought. But I'm going to pull a turnip, which is almost as big as a softball. Super impressed with that bad boy. I'm gonna pull my potatoes out, and I have 2 zucchini that are ready to harvest too. So I'm going to cut all that up and toss it in some oil, put some garlic on it, and probably some salt, some pink Mediterranean salt. It stuffs the shit. And yeah, I'm going to mix that all up, and I'm going to throw it on a baking dish, and I'm going to bake it. And then I'm probably going to eat the entire pan with no regrets. I'm going to really enjoy it. It's going to be amazing. Oh, and I'm going to pick a bunch of blackberries and make cobbler, probably this weekend. Yeah, that's definitely going to happen. Not cobbler. No, I'm sorry, not cobbler. I'm high. Not cobbler. Not eating another cobbler. Making jam. Jam. Got the yearning for sweet potatoes. Dude, sweet potatoes are so good. Oh man, I make sweet potato fries in my air fryer. Shit's legit. Or bacon wrapped sweet potatoes. Oh yeah, so good. So good. Anyway, Brain, Washington. Yeah, it's full of truffles, Kirk. Like, it's, you're here. The people are terrible. They're just awful. Everything's a dumpster fire here. Whatever you behold, that is what you become. If you sit there and look at that is what will get on you. Yeah, exactly. On it. I've been like really in talk. Really makes me really happy. Gives me good laughs that I am really needing. So yeah, I'm all about it. Anything that is funny and enjoyable and not old at this point, that's what we need. That's what we need. Let's see. I love sweet potatoes. Sweet potato fried, lovely. Yeah, they're amazing. Air fryer. Oh yeah, all about it. I made so many fried zucchini in my air fryer. So good. So good. Place wildfires every year. Earthquakes all the time. Yep, that's California. That is definitely it. I mean, Washington, like, we're at risk of like Mount Rainier blowing up, but I mean that would be just a one and done thing. It's not like, oh, every year Mount Rainier is gonna blow up. No, that's a one and done. Filet steak and sweet potato fries. Now we're talking. Yep. Definitely talking about that. Yeah. Sounds so good. Sounds so good. I probably need to go make like a smoothie. I didn't eat anything after my walk. Oh, yeah, that's what needs to happen. I don't normally like to eat this late because I'm going to go to bed soon, but I really want a smoothie. It sounds really yummy. But yeah, I'm super excited about my roasted veggies all out of my garden tomorrow. It's going to be amazing. And I need to replant. I need to plant all this stuff for fall. Because it's time for your fall gardens to go in. My potatoes are dying off. My one slicer tomato that I'm going to get is starting to blush and get its red color. So I'm going to eat that big beef in a couple days once it's ripe. And then I'll probably pull that tomato plant because it's not going to produce another slicer tomato. My cherry tomatoes are still ripening. There's still quite a few on those too. But yeah, gonna pull my potatoes up tomorrow, and I need to replant. I'm gonna plant beets, carrots, radishes, turnips, maybe more potatoes. Yeah, I've been growing stuff in grow bags. So that's where it's at. It's really awesome. And I have a garden bed too, but grow bags they're so nice because you can move them around and you can reuse them, and they're great. They're really great. Yeah. So I think I'm going to get out of here so that I can make a smoothie, because that sounds real nice right now. Nice cold smoothie with a bunch of greens in it. Didn't get bananas because they didn't have bananas, but I got other stuff that I can put in there. So I think I'm going to do that. And if you would like to send me a letter, you do that at P.O. Box 1598, Shelton, Washington, 98584. You can also donate to my PayPal, which is paypal.me/finding Dottie. And you can also donate to my Disarm Cash App right there, $$ Yeah, do whatever you want. Give the video a thumbs up, a good old Rogan's up on the video. Send it to your friends, because most of the people who watch it are subscribed. So let's get more subscribers. Send it to your friends. Tell them about story time. Send them The Magician's Nephew. That's the first book. Send it. Send it to the people. Or don't. I don't know. I don't care. Whatever. Do whatever you want. Enjoy your life. Do whatever brings you joy. And yeah, I thank you all for being here. Let me give some quick shout outs before we dip out. Eric DeLeon, Barbara Zinabear, Sue Finelli, Carrie Skates, Kirk Wilson. I'm scrolling. FEPE the Penguin. Hello. It's so hot in here. Michelle L. You're the best. The best. Lana. 888 Industries 640015. I mean, that's definitely a robot name. What are you doing there? What are you doing with your name there, Brent? Why? Zulu 1. Hello. My bestie. Dank. Good day, sir. Good evening. Good afternoon. Whatever you want it to be, just make it good. Don't forget the hot sex. Never forget that. Spicy Sarah. Legend. Crushing. www.imperiosalsa.com. Do it and enjoy your life. It will be better. It will be better after you get the salsa. Doc Michael. Candace C. The people. The people are in the house. They were in the house. I don't know if they're still here. It's all good if you're not. It's all good. It's all good in the hood. So, I love you all so much, my guys and gals in the realm. And I hope that y'all have a good evening, a good week, a good life. Just keep being awesome. You know I don't know how to end these. So, I'm out of here. I'll see y'all on the flat side. Much love. Peace out.